And now here again is our guest, Dr. John Claypool. John, your metaphor of an alchemist, the ingenuity of an alchemist, God, helps us understand that we should never give up. But you know something about that, don't you?
Well, I do, because as Frederick Buechner says, life works us all over before it's done. And we're all carrying a sack of rocks of sadnesses and disappointments. And you and I have talked before. I lost my only daughter 32 years ago. She died of leukemia.
Laura Lou.
Laura Lou was her name. Wonderful Southern name. And I learned in that dark and difficult experience that as bad as it was, that I was not alone. There was something else at work that was capable of taking bad things and bringing good things out of it. And I feel that's so important right now in the life of our country, Lydia, because September 11th is still an open wound for so many of us. And we wonder what's going to happen. And people ask me, where was God when this happened? Well, of course, the truth is, God is love, in my judgment, which means God is non-coercive. Every time there's love, there's also the gift of freedom. And I think God took the risk of giving our species freedom because of God's confidence in that ingenious ability of God to take bad choices that we make and somehow transmute them into growth and into blessing and into redemption. And what Joseph concluded, that even the things that people do to us that are meant for evil, God still has the capacity to use them for good. And
John,
I'm basing my life on that.
In the depths of your despair over the death of your daughter, precious daughter, only 10 years of age, where did you put your anger?
My anger? Well, I understood my anger as just the frustration that is natural when the way it is so much less than the way it was. And I think anger is utterly appropriate. It's frustration. It's wanting things to be one way when they're another. But what I did was to openly acknowledge my frustration. And I always reminded myself that the depth of my grief corresponded to the depth of my love. If I had not had deep affection for Laura Lou, then I wouldn't have been all that upset about her death. The more profoundly we love, the more profoundly we're going to grieve when something is taken away that we love. But what helped me more than anything, and I've said this before to you on the program, what helped me more than anything else was realizing that she was a gift and not a possession. And there's a mystery about her death that I still don't understand. But there's a deeper mystery about her birth, that I ever got to be with that little girl for a single day.
And that can never be taken away.
Right, and that's incredible good fortune, something I did not deserve, something that was not in any way an entitlement. It was sheer and total gift. And the night I realized that Laura Lou was gift and not possession, that she had belonged to another before she'd ever come into my life, it didn't lessen the sadness one iota. I would to God she was still living. What it did do was save me from a lifetime of bitterness and resentment that frankly wouldn't change anything. And resentment is acid in our souls. It wouldn't have brought her back. It wouldn't have made me any better. Thinking of her as a gift and not a possession freed me from spending the rest of my life with my fist in the face of God, and led me to open my hands in astonished gratitude that I'd ever gotten to know her at all.
And so that God's answer to the Good Fridays in our lives is Easter.
Is always Easter. Nobody expected Easter, and here all of a sudden God took something that we had mangled and corrupted and raised this one and sent Jesus back to us. If anybody treated my son the way we had treated Jesus, it would not be in my thought to raise him up and send him back, which to me, that is the marvel of Easter. It's not just that God could raise him up, that he would want to, that he'd have enough mercy.
And therein lies the hope.
Therein lies the hope.
John Claypool, thank you for your authentic message.
Always love being here.